Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, one of the rulers of the underworld, or specifically the ruler of manga hell. And today we'll be back to the newest chapter. Welcome to the Demon School, Iruma-kun, chapter 252, titled Blind Spot. So I guess we'll be focusing on some other stuff that's happening between the main cast or something. I have no idea. This blind spot could be literally everything if we're being totally honest to ourselves. So yeah. Anyways, let's just get into this chapter. So we first start this page off with a dropout tent, as we see a bunch of the other teams that were all eliminated. And my god, you can feel the salt or the frustration or whatever you want to describe it. All I know is that a lot of them seem to be in very angry states right now. Like we see Lead and the Cyclops dude eating something that looks like a chocolate bar. We see Cosella or Pouty as we see the lion guy kind of blushing. I guess he's being a bit attracted by to her anger. We see Clara and that other girl that's basically like a twin sister eating some chocolate, stuffing their faces with chocolate. As that guy who's the teacher's cousin, I think, is about. Oh no, these two have been stuffing their face the whole time. Then we see Elizabeth also drinking something. As being she's puffy. As one of the memory twins is also like, "Are you alright?" We actually see a person being fine, as he seems to have just talks to the rest of the two students, or is asking the guy with the standing magic to just give him some snack from the other, but the end, not exactly sure. Then we see Agara's there, as we also see Gap. So I guess Gap got off screened in previously. Although I could just, or maybe those two guys on his team just pop their own balloons. I mean, those two argue the whole time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just pop themselves. So yeah, anyways, then we see a cut to from the stage, and then we see the students back, or they're not back. That's 8 teams down. What incredible surge of dropouts! So I guess they're referring to how previously it was like barely anyone, but now it's like already 8, as all the students are roaring. So, anyways, then we have a shot of the Caligo and Bond looking all cool, as I was like, the Misfits have been defeated one after another by Babylon's Garthok and Gargoyle, referring to Caligo and Balam. As then I was like, our strongest teachers who have joined the battle in its final stages. Just the audience is both brimming with excitement and taken aback by their childish glee in crushing their students. So yeah, I guess even I honestly do feel like the students are just getting less and less respect for the teachers as this is gonna going on. Like the only thing that is gonna happen is that everyone's just gonna be booing the teachers for some reason. As we see Amelia and that one of the guys who's on part of council be like, these two are just child. It's just getting with childish now. Anyways, then we get a shot of uh, Iruma running with his two group, be like, there are 5 teams left. There was just start of Asmodeus still fighting against Infrit. Will they all pray to their pair of teachers? Well, considering the fact that currently, who knows where Sylvia and Zeza are, I'm not exactly sure. Although to be fair, it's possible that Sylvia and Zeza are just gonna have their balloons pop. Then we see Alakori and his two teammates who I guess just been hiding in the trees this whole fucking time? Alright, does Alakori have some kind of magic that allows them to be extremely good at stealth or something? Because I feel like someone should have attacked them at this point. Hell, I think one of the girls actually has a bunch of bells for her hairstyle. Then we see who will be left standing at the very as then we see Samnak, like I'm guessing he's running from someone because he's also using his weaponry as he's holding his two students in his shoulders as the girl's like crying her eyes out. How much tears does this woman have? And then we have the last like and then we see a shot of us of Jazz like being crucified No crucifixions here with the Jesus crucifixion here, people. We do not do that here in hell. We use chainsaws for our crucifixion because the person usually dies immediately. So starting even the reference to it is already kills it. But this one's just a blatant, boring, all crucifixion. It's just like, make a pole with some spiral or something between it, with a few straps to hold him in place, and that's pretty much it. But also a few weapons like a giant pair of scissors, uh, an axe, what looks like a chainsaw, and a mace, and a few spikes below it. And we just see, and also there's a click sound effect, so they'll basically just come using their point, their little buttons to cut through all of the students. As we just see, like, also the sound effect of all doom, doom, doom. I guess we now know which teacher was with Joss. And then we immediately have the announcer just clicking it off, like, shutting it down, like, and then we see all the teachers terrified. And announcer sits down politely, like, completely calms down as he's shaking a bit. He's like, that is. And it just fall as Mary was just like, ah! As I think I mean, I was just like, that is not something we are allowed to podcast to you, please. Wait. I'm guessing that's actually now that I think about it, that's probably just the announcer be like saying that. It just looks so funny. As they will cut to the students and they're like, the hell was that? As they actually see a screen of a demon flower on the ground as they're saying, please stand by. Check. And someone else is like, check the camera footage. We shouldn't have aired that. So yes, then we have that was. As then we have a bit of a flashback to remind us who Jazz is. As they have another saying or shout for him, be like, Miss Victor, second year, Andrew, Mr. Me, I'm Jazz. Specialty, stealing. As they have, I just look at thinking, it's like, his bloodline ability is neither offensive nor defensive in nature, so he assumed that for his team, he would be matched up with some strong first years, who were hardened warriors. As they would see like just a generic like werewolf demon and some punk demon as like what he was assuming. I guess he assumed that the teams are gonna be matched up, which in a way that will balance everyone out. Unfortunately, Jazz, that's not the reason why they planned it. The teams they planned out. So, anyways, then we see him and Alakor talking to each other, and then we have them saying he strategized accordingly, assessing his role in the team and how they could be best fighting alongside each other, running counter simulations in preparations for the exam. And then the review of their teammates. And then he just looks at the papers and he sees the two egg-shaped students who honestly could also be siblings or at least the same family. Like we're gonna calculate more appearance-wise later, but yeah, just sees those two. As then we see what his first thought was when he saw his team. As then he just thinks them, I must protect them. As then we have there's a big pro high, the overwhelming desire to become an older brother and protect, which actually is something that I think what is established by Jazz because every time they I think get I mean one chapter they got drunk for some reason, and then Jazz was just act like a big brother, and I think that in the end of the previous arc in the anime they actually did have that kind of beat I think with him and his class with his classes because he was a higher rank than the other two with Gop, Kamo, and lead. As there we have nursing, and right away he sprung into action. As we see him flying through some mountains. Then we see him going to that casino club that he was training in for that arc that's gonna be in the next season, the old forest retrieval or something, whatever it was called. As there we see the guy who I'm gonna say, if I remember correctly, is in charge there, or one of the workers there is like, "Oh, it's Jazz!" And then the punk guys like, "Did you come to help us out again?" As they have him like talking to everyone there, like he pulled many strings. Uh, as then he also like leveraging his connections for advice. I guess he was also asking a few people there, as well as the guy who was training him. But of course, like any reasonable person, he just ran for the hills. And by the looks of things, the teacher also ran behind. after him, which is very funny. Like I'm guessing he didn't expect it just to be there, but it's kind of funny to just imagine him being there and he running for the hills. And then we have him saying, uh, and then he negotiated. If bonds aren't an option, then use your brain instead. This is how before the exam even started, he obtained. And then we get the Demon's Bank. And then we see like a bank with a few wings below it. Yeah, and yeah, it's a pretty, standard looking vault. Is there anything? A high-end safe, known for being the toughest to the crack in the whole netherworld. An exceptional item that's possibly to peep into thanks to its perception warning magic. So yeah. And then we see uh, his plan to put the first tears inside and hold it out for all 66 minutes. And then we see a shot of him just like putting the students in there. Like they just you see like the two students actually don't look that big. Like they do look like uh, I think this is about the right size. Like they are like actually not even maybe like this big. Like they're very small in comparison. Like they fit in the vault perfectly with their balloons. How their balloons seem to be the same size as these two. How the heck did these two manage to get into the top 26 if they are so fucking small? Again, I'm pretty sure these are siblings or cousins or some kind of thing because those two really have like the same appearance. And it's like egg-shaped appearance. And they seem to have like these very tiny kind of pointy like uh, hands. No, there's one boy, one girl, with a boy having like a different color, looking kind of blue. I would want to say. I'm not exactly sure. It's like gray and white and black. That's the only colors we have. But no, I feel like that his color is usually used on more like lighter blue characters, or it could just be lighter green. One does. Where also this guy has being a horn, and the girl is just like an egg shape with similar shape, but she has like a bow instead of a horn. And I'm also guessing that her skin is gonna be like an egg color. But yeah. And yeah, apparently Josh's plan was just to have them be locked up in there. I hope there is air in the safe because otherwise they're still gonna suffocate. In fact, it seems like the girl and the boy actually are a bit worried because we see what looks like a bit of sweat from it. So yeah. Anyways, there we have Jazz closing the combination. As Jazz then sits on the safe like, I am the only one who knows the passcode, which means if you want to break their hearts, you have to break me first. So yeah, I guess that's how he was encountering the torture sensei. So yeah. As then we see the torture sensei be like, I see. And then we cut to the back to the present where Jazz getting crucified, and then we have like a big shock of electricity coming at him, and like ah, as he screams a bit in pain. As they receive the torture sensei, torture arts teacher Marbus March, as he's like, that's my specialty. So yeah, I guess Jazz came right at the guy who's specializes in interrogation. Talk about bad company. Talk about the worst luck. So anyways, there we have Marbus back. The Demon's Bank, huh? A good job getting this. What a rarity. Torture arts and magical devices have a lot to do with one another. I say that often during class, remember? So I guess we're getting some insight on a teaching job. Well, at least this guy's actually acting like a teacher would. And they point something like, there are a lot of magic torture devices too. So yeah, honestly, this is just actually kind of fun with how he's like sitting down and analyzing the technology and everything. Then we see a shot of all the torture devices that he has on him. Is that some kind of pocket dimension is magic that he has or something? I'm not exactly sure. And then we have Dojin. Which one would you like to try first? As he like has the Iron Maiden, the crucifix, or oh no, the crucifix, the guillotine, the stack, a few other pointing stuff, and just things I don't feel like allowed on teachers. Should be allowed on students. So as then we have just wedding, as I just think to myself, I don't know any advanced spells, and my body isn't that tough. I've already done everything I know how to do. Is there we have Tochen just looking at him with a smile, as well, Mobius is yeah, Mobius as I was like, which means I only have one thing left, guts. As he's just like saying there, he's like, whichever you want, whichever you recommend. He's like, oh my god, it's gonna be painful. And it's like just pick whatever you want at this point. It's like it really matters. As they would just be like, will I endure or will I spill? This is a gamble. As they see the save, as then we have, I'm saying, and so far as we get to close of the save, as we actually see it saying it's paying off as we see uh Jazz's familiar, that cute little doggy, running as the two students that Jazz has on top of the doggy, as he has like this like weird white hood on his face, I guess to hide his face or something, as he's running away with full speed, as the two students are like, ha ha, I guess we're not gonna be sticking to the safe. I'm not like sure what's going on. Honestly, as then we come to another flashback, as then we have just be like, what? It's a fake! As he's all like shocked. As they have the teacher, the guy who's teaching him, be like, of course it is a demon. It is. A demon's big. It is something a kid can just buy with pocket money. It's a bit laughing. It's like, so, you fell for a cheap knockoff, you idiot! And then, it's just like, as then we have just being like, damn it, why isn't there a single decent adult around me? What should I do now? I waste a ton of time and money on this piece of junk. As on top of it, we actually see the teacher and the guys on and that bar who are all laughing as the night actually says like good for nothings. So yeah, he's addressing like how much money and the time he wasted on these two, because now he just basically went on a giant goose chase. Is there we have the teacher appearing below him, like looking down at him, like so as he like blows some smoke in him. He's like, hey, for a thief you're pretty blind, aren't you, Jezio? Is there we have the teacher grabbing the box saying, junk, no way, sure this is just a box, but it's a box that fooled even you. So I guess this guy's like saying, hey, this box fooled you to think it was real. You know, and it might be useful for others. As the teacher says, think of a way to use it. Even a regular pen can be used to make a killing. You've seen it happen a bunch of times, right? So I feel like it might be a reference to something that happened earlier in the story, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. But more or less, the teacher is right on that front. Anyways, then we see just thinking to myself, a fair game is no game at all. Then we see the some of the old things they were using during the festival, as they were sitting there saying "person's secret veil." As then we have Jazz to prepare unprepared die. The unprepared die, as then we see him actually putting the two students on top of his dog, as he also puts the veil on. Not sure on why, because I feel like it's still seeable, especially considering what we said at the end of the chapter. I guess he just didn't want to show the familiar space, I guess. As then we have just come back to the point, just like, just keep your expression between calm and anxious, and rely on the last trick up your sleeve. As then we have the dog running and stopping, as we see Alako and his two teammates still on that branch, as then we have a rushing from the tree branches, and just like the special trump card that you've kept hidden for so long. As then we have the end of chapter, as we see the dog and the two students be there where Alacor is. I guess the dog sniffed Alacor, or maybe this dog was sniffing Alacor's scent by the veil. I'm not really sure. As we see Alacor looking there and knowing things have just gone in danger with Jazz. So I guess Jazz is also leaving his two students with Alacor, because they're expecting them to be a good way to keep them secret or something. I don't know. Honestly, these two really look like they could just. I don't know. Like a guy with a hole might actually be able to like just dig a tunnel or something. I'm not exactly sure what we're expecting there. But yeah, end of chapter. So yeah, this chapter was a decent chapter enough. Nothing special, just a bit more of a thing with Jazz and finding more about things about him. But nothing really all that special. It's also a very comedy focused chapter, but that's pretty much it for it. There's nothing else to really talk about. All in all, I would say it's a pretty alright chapter, but it could have done something a bit more exciting. Like maybe a little more focus on what status uh, Justice in his well, Asmodeus is with his battle against the Infrared, and knowing where the fuck his fucking students are. I mean, seriously, they're just like running around the facility or something because. I mean, they don't seem to be with Sylvia. Sylvia. I mean, I don't think they even went in the same direction. So maybe they're just gonna get into with some other team, or maybe some teachers just gonna pop Sylvia's balloon. I don't know. Well, also, it's kind of disappointing that Gab was this eliminated, but it's alright expected, honestly. So, anyways, I hope you guys like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And that's it. I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.